returned from the case in Kentucky 6 months ago. I smiled.
Do you think it's funny when you misspell words on an official form, Gwen? Commander James asked.
Oh, no, sir. Misspelled words are a serious crime. Someone kicked me under the table. Oomph! I looked around the table, but no one would meet my gaze. I'm just excited about the new cases that came in. I waved at the perfectly aligned stack of files resting in front of him. He glanced down, and I again checked my watch.
All right.
He turned off the projector and picked up the files. I let out a sigh.
4 agencies have contacted us in the past day, requesting our services.
Commander James made sure we were all paying attention.
I've already assigned staff to each of them.
Picking up my mug of stone-cold coffee, I nodded and gave him a slight smile. He gave me a frosty stare and opened the first file. I wanted to throw a pencil at his head for being such a boring grunt box, but if I missed, it would shatter the graphite of a perfectly good pencil.
Anaconda has a convenience store robbery with a homicide.
Commander James closed the file.
It's the second in 3 weeks. Jennifer, I'm sending you.
He handed the file over to our crime scene specialist, Jennifer Bailey.
You men,
James nodded at the 2 officers on his right,
will be working an accident reconstruction outside Mills, Wyoming. The highway patrol is involved and wants outside assistance. Gwen,
he turned to me.
Kodiak, Alaska needs forensic art help on a cold case.
Pun intended? I grinned at being sent somewhere besides Mills or Anaconda.
I don't understand.
He frowned. You know, cold? Alaska? I gripped my coffee to keep from throwing a pencil anyway. What's the last case?
From the Nez Perce Tribal Police in Lapwai, Idaho. Double homicide. Missing 4-year-old child. Killer used a hatchet.
I sloshed the coffee over my hand and onto the table. Jennifer helped me mop up. When I knew my voice would be somewhat steady, I asked, "Where exactly is Lapwai located?"
North-central Idaho, near Lewiston.
Lewiston, where my parents had been murdered. Are you okay, Gwen? Jennifer asked. You're as white as a sheet. I gave her a trembling smile. The case just reminds me of an old case I was once involved with. What kind of specialist did they ask for?
General help in interviewing.
Commander James glared at the mess I'd made.
Maybe some crime scene help. I've assigned it to Kurt.
No. I took the file before Kurt had a chance to grab it. They need a forensic artist.
They didn't ask for one.
Kurt reached for the materials I held. They've probably never even heard of forensic art. I moved the folder out of range. Listen, with a missing child, time is critical. By the time someone figures out they saw something, it could be too late, and I kinda know the area.
It's my case.
Kurt's voice went up a notch. Commander James tapped his lower lip.
I don't know.
Please, I leaned forward. You said Kodiak was a cold case. There's no rush. And you know I'm a trained interviewer. And I've worked crime scenes. I'm already packed. To go on a trip to Glacier Park with Blake. I held my breath.
Okay. I'll call them and say you're coming.
Today. I'll be there as fast as I can drive over. Everyone at the table was staring at me. I didn't care. I ran away from a scene like that once. I wouldn't run again. Chapter 2. I didn't wait for Commander James to change his mind. Grabbing the case files, I dodged into the restroom and looked at my watch. Blake is probably waiting outside. What are you going to say to him? He'll understand, I whispered. I hope. A swift phone call to my best friend, Beth, alerted her to my immediate departure. She agreed to take care of my Great Pyrenees, Winston. Blake was leaning against his rental car holding a bouquet of coral-colored roses. He wore a low-brimmed black Stetson over sun-bleached hair, a Pendleton jacket, jeans, and alligator boots. He grinned at my appearance, his manganese blue eyes crinkling. Throwing all dignity aside, I flew down the steps and into his arms. He engulfed me in a bear hug, making breathing difficult.